right, welcome to the Degenerate Gamblers. We're right in the mix, baby. We're right in the mix. We're coming off the best week and we've had all year long. I mean, with college football, college basketball, and NFL, which we absolutely cranked on. Guest handicapper Steve Valente just crushed it this weekend. Was on fire. We crushed college football, crushed the NBA. I'm sorry, the NBA did all right. NFL, we absolutely smacked. Let's get into college football, man. Let's get going because we got a huge week. It's Wednesday. It's the night before Thanksgiving. Tomorrow there's a bunch of college football along with the NFL. Friday, Saturday, same thing. Let's start off with college basketball. But I'm going to bring in Stevie Valente right now, man. What's going on, Captain Steve? We're rocking, we're rolling, baby. I just gave you mad props for the NFL weekend that you had.
Oh, I got up inside of them. Yep.
You did. You crushed it. You were on fire. We smacked college football. In college football, it was just a bang 1-2 this weekend. We actually banked. Very profitable. We got to go over college basketball right now because
can you hear me?
It's getting crazy. You have all these pre-tournaments setting up right now, and there's been some really wild games early on. There really has. Some teams are shining, some not so much. It's early. Don't get stressed out. But I'm going to go over right now a couple teams that I like to get to the Final Four. I mean, now is when you have to put in your futures bets to get to the Final Four. Everybody and their mother is going to be on Duke at plus 185. That is the worst value.
Fuck them.
That I've seen in years. Duke is good. They got the boozers. They got some good guards. 185? No, I'm not touching it. You want a value of a team that's better? Take Gonzaga. Take the Zags at plus 220.
Howie, they are a offensive juggernaut right now.
Well, listen, here's the bottom line with Gonzaga. Gonzaga, I'm going to go out on the limb and say they have the oldest team going right now in the NCAA. They have a couple dudes, 24, 25 years old, that have played every year that can just ball. They can shoot it. They got guard play. They don't turn the ball over. They're big down low. You saw what they did to Alabama. Is that the same Alabama team as last year? No, it's not. If you look across the SEC, people, if you look at the SEC, they got 7 ranked teams right now. Don't look at rankings. The rankings mean nothing right now. They're an absolute joke.
Mm-hmm.
You
don't know who's who yet.
Auburn's ranked. Auburn sucks. Auburn is not 1/10 of the team they were last year.
What about tonight's matchup then? Michigan beat up on Auburn last night. Now Michigan faces off Gonzaga tonight, 9:30. Howie, I'm ready to watch that one. Popcorn.
No, that's going to be a great game. What they did, and I called it last night. That was I had them. I have no idea why I didn't just bet a mortgage on Michigan last night because I knew they were going to win by 30. They're just they were so outmatched. And basically, if you look at Auburn, it's almost like Bruce Pearl is such a dirtbag. He set his kid up for failure.
He was calling the game last night too.
I mean, it's almost like he was like, here you go, Junior.
Take this shitbag team. Lost 4 of our 5 starters from last year, but good luck.
No, it was an absolute beatdown from the get-go. You look at Auburn, they don't have the same team they had last year. Alabama, not as good down low. Tennessee, you lost a bunch. You're decent. You beat Houston, not the same team. Arkansas, not as good. Look, people, I'm going to give you one right here in the SEC. And you heard it, and it's not even Thanksgiving yet. And pay attention because I can't wait to play this video later in the year. One of the best and most underrated teams in the country and in the SEC, not ranked in the top 25. Holy shit, look what they did down in Georgia. They brought in an all-star team around Blue Kane in his third year. One of the best guards in the country. This kid shoots it. He rebounds. He'll dunk on you. They brought in Jeremiah Wilkinson. This kid's one of the best players in the country. Another kid they have, his name's Jake Wilkins. Does Wilkins name a bell? You ever hear of a guy named Wilkins? There used to be a fella they called the human fucking highlight film. And wait till you see his son. His son, I don't know if you saw that dunk in the game where he came baseline.
Unreal.
He had to pull his left nut off of the rim, take his time, wave to the crowd, and then yoke. They have a squad. They got a couple guards. Georgia has a squad. They lost to Clemson the other night, played horrible, but this team, when they start gelling, look out. With that being said, I think the SEC, compared to last year, is way down overall. All right, you can argue with me. We'll see what happens in 2, 3, 4 weeks. Look, the Big 12, the Big 12's loaded. Arizona's better than they were last year. Iowa State looks just as good or better. Houston, look, they're ranked third in the country. I think they have a couple veterans, but they also have some young freshmen. They're talented as hell. I don't see the same defense that they had last year. It's a different type of team.
No,
it's going to take Calvin Sampson a little bit of time to ring these guys in.
Yep.
BYU looks like they've gotten better. They're going to take time to gel. I don't know. The Big Ten looks good. Michigan and Michigan State. This is the best team that they've had in absolute years. Michigan State.
Big test tomorrow with my Tar Heels, Howie.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game. It'd be an interesting game, but I like Izzo's squad. I think this is the best team he's had in a long time. And I think they should be solid going forward. Even in that, look, the Big Ten, you got some good teams in that Big Ten. You have some really good teams. Illinois has improved 1,000%. Illinois, they took the Stojakovic kid from California. Cal looks good too. They have, who is it? Butch Lee's kids playing there, or grandkid. Illinois has a good team. They got to learn to play defense. But look, futures. Right now, if you're betting, I like Gonzaga. Gonzaga could win it all. They're plus 220 to get the Final Four. Iowa State, you can grab right now plus 490 to get to the Final Four. Illinois, you can grab it plus 550 to get to the Final Four. Michigan State, you can grab them at plus 850 to get to the Final Four. So I like those. Some of the teams you have to watch that have been horrible, but they look like they're on the up and up this year. Louisville has turned it around. Louisville was down and out, couldn't beat anybody. They beat shit out of Kentucky. They got a squad. Virginia Tech looks good. California has improved. Illinois has a squad. And the team, I'm telling you right now, they have not been to a tournament in 5 years. And this is a whole new squad. You talk about young talent. If they can play D, holy shit, Syracuse is like night and day. Syracuse is fun to watch.
Yeah. They got to make a foul shot.
Yeah, I remember a few teams in the 80s that were worse than the 63% that they're shooting now. But yeah, they got to make free throws.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo Anthony's kid is a beast. And there's 4 other kids. They have some athletes. They have some guys that can play. And that's what it is. So that's college hoops right now. And be careful. Look, guys, when you're betting, be careful of one thing. Be careful of undefeated teams. And I'm going to give you an example. You look at the Atlantic 10 right now. You look at the A10. The A10 has a couple teams. George Mason is 7-0. Richmond is like 6-0. They haven't beaten anybody. They have not beaten anyone. So be careful of that. Let's give you another example. Let's look at the Atlantic Sun. You got University of West Georgia, second year in the league as Division I. They're 4-3. Here's their 3 losses. This is the Atlantic Sun. Their 3 losses are to UCLA, Nebraska, and Georgia Tech, which tells me I can't wait till they get in a conference play that first game. Maybe they're laying 2 or 3, or they're getting 1. I'm going to jump all over West Georgia. I have mad respect for a coach that just goes in the paint and goes hard in the schedule early on. And that's what they've done there. So, look, be careful. I'm going to tell you, I want to apologize right now because last week I kind of shit on the Big East a little bit. And that was a mistake because I'm looking at the Big East. Georgetown's 5-0. They've beaten Maryland and Clemson. Seton Hall is the real deal. They lost by 2 last night to USC. They should have beaten them.
Mm-hmm.
Seton Hall has some players. Butler's good. UConn and St. John's, we know what they are. They could win the national championship. Villanova's not bad, but goddamn Xavier, man. Xavier's got a kid. I don't know where he's from. He's from Eastern Europe somewhere, but they got a kid that can flat out ball. So that's it for college hoops. We're in the mix. I put out a bet this morning. Let's see where it is. Troy State making a little run, down 5. They gotta pick it up. Jeez, I mean, St. Francis of Pennsylvania is one of the worst teams in the country. I've seen it play twice. Troy lost to USC on a buzzer beater. What, 103, 102? They must have just gone out last night. That's what you gotta be careful too. If you see a tournament in the Bahamas or in Florida or in Hawaii, be careful. Look for strong coaches because these kids are going to be out just chasing wool, getting boozed up the night before. You got to watch that shit. What have you seen so far with college hoops, Steve?
Well, I have a little confession to make here, Howie. I started off yesterday 0-2 with my college plays, got shoved right up my nose with that Notre Dame Rutgers game. Came back with another alt-line parlay, lost, and then I got it all back at night, but I didn't put it on the Discord because I didn't want to go over in 3 for our guys. But it was awful. Got cold feet. I was scared as shit. I'm like, I can't give these guys 3-0 after I told them I'm hotter than a crackhead spoon earlier in the day. So I go in. I won with Michigan over. I had the Arkansas or Alabama team total over and Gonzaga team total over. I'm telling you, those teams are just high flying, scoring tons of points. So that's why I'm looking forward to that night game tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, listen. I got so beyond pissed yesterday because Notre Dame should have easily covered.
Yep.
Yesterday, 6.5. They win by 6, 5. I think I got half point. Liberty came out, played like shit yesterday. I started off slow, but then I looked at the NC State game and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I mean, Boise. I juiced that 5-unit bang that St. John's 5-unit bang. Seton Hall plus 7.5. They should have won that game. They should have won that game. So we came back strong. A bunch of games today. But with that said, let's get to college football because holy shit, we're there. We are there with college football. We got a lot of games coming up. I will say this right now. If you ask me, Howie, who are the 2 best teams that could probably win the national championship, I'm going to lead out with Texas Tech. I've said that. I got them on the futures. I got Texas Tech a month and a half ago, I think at plus 2,500 to win the national championship. I like Texas Tech. I like Georgia now. He looks to like he's getting his shit together. Those are 2 teams that I do like. Let's talk about some games tomorrow because tomorrow's Thanksgiving's always a loaded slate. I love Thanksgiving. You got, it's rivalries, big conference games. You got Navy and Memphis. Memphis is that conference's leader right now. They're only laying 4.5 at home, and I'll tell you that spread makes sense to me because Navy can go in there and beat them tomorrow, Steve.
Yeah.
I mean, plus 4.5. Navy's playing good ball right now.
No, I agree. I think, Navy's been a tough team for me. I think I had them. They're crushing overs this year, so I've had them a couple times on the over. Fuck. They're going to score points, Howie. I know that for a fact. I mean, beat South Florida a couple weeks ago, last week. I'm leaning over on that game. 58.
Yeah, 57.5. They're basically Vegas is saying this is going to be no D shootout. Navy pulling triple action, crazy ass plays out of their ass. Look for this quarterback to have about 200 yards rushing, 400 yards passing. I mean, you're going to see some wild. I agree. I think they're going to light it up. That's actually tomorrow night. Friday, we start off with just rivalries. You got Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Yep.
Talk about lack of respect. Mississippi State's only a plus 7.5 dog here against, and that's scary. That's saying that, maybe Lane Kiffin's already out the door, not giving a shit what's going on. Is that what that's saying? Because shouldn't that line be higher?
I think so, Howie. It's gotta, right? Should be 10.5. I mean, I know it's on the road, but man, I mean, Ole Miss and Mississippi State's been playing teams tough this year, but the last few games, they just haven't looked that good, and Ole Miss has been rolling.
Yeah, this is a rivalry game. Someone, and I mean, I'm looking at the line, and my heart, my brain says, man, Ole Miss should roll them. I mean, my brain says Vegas knows something here. And I mean, if anything, I may lean Mississippi State because it's a rivalry game. You get same thing with Iowa. Iowa going to Nebraska. Only a 6.5-point favorite? What's going on here? This is rivalry. This is balls out, man. They're like, no, man, Nebraska's going to make this a 1-point game. That's a scary game. Steve, the one game I do like here, I like number 13, Utah. Still fighting to get in this playoff picture, going to Kansas. The line is minus 11.5. And the only thing going through Utah's mind is how many can we win by? Let's win 44-10. I mean, let's make it look so they get. And I do like Utah in that game. What else do you like here on Friday's slate, Steve? Before we get into Georgia Tech, which could be interesting.
It's going to be a very interesting game. I'm trying to figure out why this fucking microphone, it's not echoing anymore, but I don't know what the hell's going on.
Good. You sound fine.
Yeah, good, great, grand. Howie, so right now, Nebraska, what the fuck did they do last week? They got their doors blown off against Penn State. Now, Penn State has not quit. Terry Smith's got those kids playing tough, playing with heart. I don't know, man. I think Iowa is going to go into Lincoln, and they might. Man, they didn't look good last week either, but they are covering. They're 4-0 away this year. I'm probably going to lay the points, get under that touchdown, and take the Hawkeyes in Nebraska, in Lincoln, in that big-time rivalry game tomorrow. Another game that probably is looking to go under. Nebraska can't score since Dylan Raiola went out.
I agree. I don't like playing a side in this game at all because it just Vegas knows something here with this line only being 6.5. But I do like. I can see myself getting that over under to 41-42, taking the under. I agree. Yep. I think you might see a 14-13 game.
Yeah.
I mean, 2013, I don't like that over at all. I like the under. I will be playing that under.
And Nebraska's just had a hard time moving the ball since Raiola went out. Yeah. Hard time.
Absolutely. Let's get right into the game. 3:30. This is a big game because you got Georgia Tech. Tech's in trouble as far as making this play. If Tech beats Georgia, that would throw an iron. That would be interesting. But I don't know. It's going to be tough to beat Georgia.
I think it's going to be real tough to beat Georgia. You know what, though? You say that, Howie, because, if Tech wins this game, it means nothing for their ACC chances. They've already fucked that up by losing last week, right? But you go and beat number 4 ranked Georgia, heading into the playoff. What does that do to the committee at this point, right?
Put you closer to 12.
Right.
Yeah.
And do they deserve it? Not in my opinion. After you lay an egg last week against Pitt. I mean, they got slapped last week against Pitt.
Pitt's playing good ball. We'll talk about them in a second. You got this one too. I don't know. Friday at 7:30 night. You got Indiana going at Purdue. 28.5. I can see them winning by 28. I can see right there. Vegas isn't stupid. They got this line right where it should be.
Right where it should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to see that 27-30. There's no doubt. Here's a game that's interesting. Number 3, Texas A&M. Going to Austin. Texas is only a plus 2.5-point dog at home. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now, they could win this game.
What A&M team's going to show up? The first half against South Carolina or the second half against South Carolina? If it's the first half against South Carolina, they're in deep shit. If it's the second half against South Carolina, sorry, Arch, but you're going to the Alamo Bowl.
That's right.
Cheez-It Bowl.
I will say this. Arch Manning's playing pretty good ball.
He is.
Manning.
He is. He really is. And which kind of makes you think, was he injured to start the season, or is he just
something was up?
Something was up.
He's played well.
Yeah.
You know, to give him credit, they played Georgia, and he had 3-4 receivers drop easy passes. He made every play he could. He didn't have guys helping him. The D didn't play great. He's playing well. I can see him pulling the win out. I can see Texas winning this game Saturday. Got another crazy rivalry. You got 25 Arizona going to Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 2.5. Flip a coin there. I have no idea.
You know what? I'd probably lay the points with the Wildcats in that one. Howie, you got Arizona State's quarterback, Sam Levitt's out, saying he's leaving the program. I like Kenny Dillingham as a coach, but he's only 2-3-1 at home this year. I don't know. I think Arizona's actually been playing teams tough. They smacked Baylor last week. They beat a ranked Cincinnati team 2 weeks ago, beat Kansas, smacked the shit out of Neon Dion in Colorado.
Yeah.
So I probably at this point in time, I'd probably lay the points with Arizona on the road.
Okay. I mean, I may tell you on that one. The other game we get into Saturday at noon, Texas Tech's going to West Virginia. Minus 23.5. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to say, West Virginia may keep it within 20. I think Texas Tech, looking at this, my brain, they may win this game 45-10. I mean, I just don't see West Virginia does not have the players to hang with Texas Tech. Texas Tech's 5 in the country. They like to get to 4.
Mm-hmm.
And if one of these other teams slips up, they will. They put a beat down on the Mountaineers. I mean, I just don't see West Virginia hanging with Texas Tech, especially this time of year.
Vegas is telling you something, right? That's a huge line. West Virginia actually hasn't looked that bad, and they've been covering at home. They're 4-1 against the number at home this year. But man, I'm with you on Texas Tech, Howie. They're a juggernaut, and they're one of the top 3 teams that I have that could take down that Natty this year.
Yeah, I mean, when I read articles back in August and in September on the amount of NIL money that they spent and the guys that they brought in, that's all you got to look at.
Number 1, I think. They're top 5
no,
or something.
I think they are 1.
1, yeah, oil money.
Not even close. Now, here's an intriguing game. You look at noon on Saturday, and you got Miami, Florida, who's right on the cusp of getting into the playoff picture. There'll be some arguments. But if they lose this game at Pittsburgh, it's over. They're out.
Right.
Vegas has them at less than a half-point TD. 6.5 going to Pittsburgh. Man, I'll tell you, this line scares me because this line tells me Pittsburgh's going to – and Pittsburgh is not – they're good.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh has a good squad. They got players. If anything, I might just grab my nuts, grab the money lines, grab Pittsburgh at plus 210 to win this game.
I think, you know what, Howie? I like that angle. It's either Pitt on the money line or Miami win by 10 or more.
Yes.
That's it. It's the only way I'm going.
Yeah, I see that Pitt. I can see Pitt winning this game.
Yeah.
I really can.
Mm-hmm.
We get going, of course, Saturday at noon. The game everybody's going to be watching is Ohio State and Michigan. And you have Ohio State minus 10.5. But here's the problem. If you follow college football like we do, follow college football like we do, and you've watched Ohio State, Michigan the past 20 years,
mm-hmm.
you can root any team you want on, but when it comes to pulling out my wallet and laying money down, I can't bet Ohio State against Michigan. Michigan owns Ohio State.
Won the last 4. Yeah.
So And this game's at the Big House.
Yeah.
This game's in Michigan. We're in Ann Arbor. So, I mean, how do you not take the plus 315? And there's no way in hell I can bet Ohio State, even though I'm wearing a red jacket, which has nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. Yeah, but Howie, Jeremiah Smith's banged up. They're everything wide receiver for Ohio State. They don't have him. That takes a whole different dynamic away from this game, right? You're not going to go over the top. You're not going to open up the run. That's exactly what Michigan wants you to do, is try to beat them, on the ground. 10 points is a lot of points in this rivalry game, and I just don't know that if Ohio State isn't healthy enough that they're going to be able to get it done.
And here's the big thing. And as a former coach, there used to be certain teams, and I don't care if they were undefeated or 1,000 times better. You did. When you went in, you said, guys, over the past 10 years, we've played this team 20 times. We've lost to them twice. This team doesn't ever beat us. They know they can't beat us.
Mm-hmm.
We own them. Let me tell you something. Mentally, Ohio State, in their mind, is coming out like, fuck, man, we never beat these guys. And Michigan's coming out with the music playing. Did it. We own these guys. Let's go snap them in half. And, I'm not a Michigan fan. I would like to see Ohio State win. As far as my wallet, I'll take Michigan plus 10.5 all day long, and I'll take them on the money line. You heard it.
Plus 320, baby.
I'll take them. Plus 320. How do you not? Look, if you took them on the money line the last 4 years, you could buy yourself a brand new Escalade, baby.
Last year, what were they, like 21.5 point dogs last year?
I'm talking, they were bigger dogs than I was.
19.5 last year.
Yeah, and they won.
Yeah, they won.
Only
they won.
10.5. I mean, that's a bigger dog than me Saturday night, just making bad decisions. Oh, I'm so glad to be upstate drinking Pepsi, because I almost ended my life this past weekend. Nothing like pissing supermodels. It's crazy. We get into so how about this one? 1:00 on Saturday, you got Central Florida going to BYU, and that lines up to 17.5. And I got to be honest with you, Steve, I got a funny feeling they roll the shit out. I like UCF. They could get spanked up there in that low oxygen level BYU, Mormon country.
Cougars have been my go-to the last 2 weeks, Howie. I banked with them big time the last 2 weeks. Got me out of trouble 2 weeks ago, and last week just went back to the well with them, and they took care of business against Cincinnati. I don't think it's a lot of points. I got to look more into it. I mean, UCF barely beat dog shit Oklahoma State last week, which Oklahoma State did just make a very good hire for their new head coach in that Eric Morris guy from Texas Tech. But I don't know. BYU, they're a team that I think everybody's been underestimating so far this year. So I'm with you on the Cougars.
All right. And, you guys, for me, that's about it. If you want any more information on college football here, listen, all you got to do is just go to WHOP.com, join the Degenerate Gamblers Discord. We're out here talking college hoops. Listen, we banked last week. We crushed college hoops. We crushed the NFL. We're on fire. I mean, we're hitting on all cylinders with college basketball right now. Things are starting to get clear. And college basketball is one of these deals, people, where you look at every team and you compare that team to last year, and the only similarities that I see are the same coaches. Because I look at Rick Barnes, who's a defensive, or Calvin Sampson. These guys are defensive coaches. Their teams are so different from last year. Tennessee, too. Tennessee's running up and down last night. Way more scoring than I ever thought. Tennessee pulls out the W. They may have a little more maturity, some bigger guys downtown. But listen, man, you look at college hoops, and that's about it. With Rick Pitino, you know that for 40 minutes, these kids are picking up full court. If you don't have great guards, they had a problem with Alabama, Steve, because the only thing Alabama does have is great guards. It don't put the ball over. Pacheco's going to double team you.
Yep.
He's going to give up a 3 or 2. If your team can shoot the shit out of the 3, you don't turn the ball over, you can play with St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at like Syracuse. I watched them the last 3 nights. Damn, that's a different team.
Totally different team.
They got kids that can run and jump. Their defense needs a little work. I think they'll get better. I'm looking at the ACC, man. Virginia Tech looks a lot better. There's a few mid-majors, but the difference is, and we're seeing it more and more, Steve, is I think the top-ranked 25 teams, which are your big NIL schools, I think they're 95-1, 96-1.
Insane.
You know who the one upset came from? Seton Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you watched him last night, not much of an upset because he's got some studs in there, man.
And Shaheem Holloway's a great coach. He's a great coach.
Kids want to play for him.
Yeah.
He's getting kids there that could get more money elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, look, it's a small unit. You're going to play 30, 33 minutes a game. It's a tight group, small little Catholic school. And that's how he's getting kids. They got 6, 7 kids that can play with anybody, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's get right in the NFL because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. And I'm not making any bad decisions tonight. Not like I usually do. I'm keeping things in check. Although I just ran into
Frank.
I ran into I'm just getting a breakfast sandwich down the street.
Spring Street.
Spring Street Deli.
Yep.
And I'm at the counter, minding my business, ordering, and I hear a voice in the back. They don't serve gays in here. and I put my head down, and I'm like, I know somebody I know. Now I got to turn around, and everyone's looking at me. I turn around, man. Fucking Tony Damiano from my Cortland State days, from my OTB days, is there, and we just talk horses. And now I got to go meet him at the bowling alley, which,
of course you are.
Why are you going to the bowling alley?
Of course you are.
I'm like, that's like where all the horse people hang out at, the bowling alley.
Is it the bowl? Yeah, they got a nice little bar there.
The horse people, all the trainers and shit go there.
Okay.
I mean, if you're a degenerate in the horse game, why not? Why wouldn't you go to the bowling?
Of course you're going to go to the bowling alley.
So I can go in there and talk shop because I do have a filly. I got to sell 25% of her. I don't know. I got a lot of shit going on. This weekend took 10 years off my life, but I'm back in Saratoga. We're going NFL. I'm about to bring my Mayhu Patel in here, and let's just talk the game that you guys crushed this weekend. You did, Steve. What's up, Hammer? We got the NFL God, Mayhu Patel on, and let's look. This past weekend, we just talked. We crushed college football. Steve just went lights out on the NFL.
Yeah, man.
And, what's crazy? I'm trying to put those damn sack parlays in, and you got to look. Make sure you have 4 or 5 different, because I actually got it on DraftKings. Yeah. I did not get it on FanDuel. FanDuel just shuts shit off. You're about to bet it, and it disappears.
Well, FanDuel also won't put the sack props up for probably till the day before the game, and sometimes not until day of, because
and then 10 minutes before the game they take them down.
Yeah, they will. They will if they see that an offensive lineman isn't playing. They take it down. There was somebody on the Discord that had way better pricing than I did on one of the sack parlays, because they're mispriced. And they know it, and they don't even let you put. You can't. They don't have props on everyone. They like the front 7 of a team. They don't. They pick like 3 guys, and that's it. And then in one of them, the guy wasn't even active, and you could have bet on him. So you gotta make sure, double check those injury reports.
So let's get into a little bit. We'll give you a little bit of inside info coming on Thursday, Thanksgiving. But if you want to join, look, go to @HowieDewey on YouTube. Join the Degenerate Gamblers Premium. Go to Whop.com, Whop, WHOP.com. Go to the Degenerate Gamblers Premium. Sign up. $24.99 a month. So we get into Thursday, And there's all kinds of profit boosts on these Thanksgiving. Go to every site. Go to 4 different sites. Get your profit boosts. Take a minus 146. Turn it into a plus 110. But what do we got on the Packers? The Packers-Lions game. The line is down to 2.5. The game's in Detroit because Detroit's played on Thanksgiving Day along with Dallas for the last 150 years. But the Packers are they're plus 2.5 dogs. Vegas is telling me the Packers win this game. What do you think, Mehul?
Look, I do like the Packers in this game. I mean, it could go either way. They were at home. It's a short week. I actually like the under in this game. It opened up at, I believe, 48.5. I'm not sure where it is right now.
It's right. It's level in between 47.5, 48.5.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that, I was pretty surprised because the two things that jump out at you here is both of these teams are really good pass rushing teams. And believe it or not, you know, I know we've talked about the Lions' offensive line a lot. It's not as good as it used to be. And they actually are not that great at pass blocking anymore. And the Packers, man, you know, one thing their offense is not consistent, but that pass rush is consistent.
100%. I'm with you there. You know what? And the Packers in, you know, these bigger games this year, they haven't put up a ton of points. You know, 7-10 in prime time against the Eagles. Well, who else? They lost to the Browns. I think they only scored like 10 points in that game, lost to them. I don't know. I could definitely see everybody betting the over in this game because you got the Lions and their high-powered offense. But really, I mean, I don't know.
I like the under. Both of these teams actually don't pass block well. They don't. I mean, Detroit, obviously, they run block
Sackwich.
well. But yeah,
Sackwich.
I mean, I'm definitely going to look at the sack parlays in this game, but it's also a division game.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not like these guys are unfamiliar with each other. They play each other twice a year. These coaches have been there now for the last, I think, at least 4 years, maybe 5 years. Campbell and LaFleur have been coaching against each other. So it's not as if they're going to do things that they haven't seen on film before. I think when you have teams that can pass rush, Green Bay's actually a great coverage team too. They got defensive backs they can cover. DJ Reed came back against the Giants. He didn't play the full snap count, but he probably will this week. He's a really good cornerback. Kirby Joseph isn't playing. Brian Branch is. I just think they're getting their pieces back, and I could just see the defenses tightening up here. And what Steve said is true, man. Like, the Packers offense just has not arrived this year, and Josh Jacobs did not play last week, so he'll play this week, but he's probably a little banged up. I like the under. I at 48.5.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that, you know, it'll be tight. They will score some points, and they do have Jamar Gibbs who can pop one at any point. But I like betting on these defenses to keep this game relatively low scoring. And if they don't have too many turnovers, I could see this being, you know, 24-20, 23-17, something like that.
I like it. I'm telling you guys, I'm not messing around, man. If you told Steve last weekend, you could have bought a house. So I'm going with the under. I'm not even going to up it. I'll go under 48.5, keep it right there.
Look, Green Bay in week 1 handcuffed Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, after that first game, everyone was talking about how Detroit's offense might not be what it was because they played that well, and that was Micah Parsons' first game. You know, so they did handle them, and so I could see the same thing happening. Green Bay just doesn't light up the scoreboard either.
No, they even like last week, Jordan Love didn't lose them the game, but he didn't really do anything to win them the game either. Their defense did.
Yeah, exactly. So I like the under in the first game for sure.
All right, there it is. And I mean, let's we'll get to what game do you like the best? Do you like the Chiefs Cowboys or Bengals Ravens?
So I'm hearing that this Chiefs Cowboy game might be the highest rated, most watched regular season game in history of the
Wow.
NFL. Yeah, they're saying over 50 million viewers probably for this game.
I believe it. And if you look at this damn line, the Cowboys are playing better than they have all year long. But yet, and the Chiefs are playing okay. But the Chiefs are -3.5, which basically says Vegas is telling you. Vegas is saying that KC goes in here and just beats a little ass. That's what Vegas is saying. What do you think, Mehul?
This is a tough game. What I will say is Dallas's defense is starting to play better.
Mm-hmm.
They've had back-to-back weeks where they haven't really given up a lot of rushing yards. If you see Dallas stuffing the run here, yeah, I don't know. When KC is forced to pass, they're not the same team. Now, their defense did play pretty well against the Colts at home. This is another game where I'm more looking at the point total, and this one opened up at 52. I probably take the under again here. I think that Dallas's defense is getting better, and KC, they know they can't keep scoring against this. They're just not the same offensive team that they've been in the past. They go on these long drives that take up 8, 9, 10 minutes. They don't have that big play that they haven't had for years, honestly. All they really have is Xavier Worthy that can fly, and maybe you get a bomb play. But I could see this game going under. As far as who is going to win, it's tough, man. I gotta say, it's tough to bet against Dallas at home.
Yeah, I'm with you. And they've been playing better D. You got the big guys on the Quinn Williams, and these guys, like you said, man, the Chiefs don't have a great running attack, and I can see the Cowboys like stuffing more holes, and I did this past weekend. But
it's not a coincidence that they haven't given up more than 80 rushing yards the last 2 weeks since they made the trade for Williams.
Huge get to stuff that run.
And if Kenny Clark comes back and plays this week, that's another guy that they can put on the defensive line that can help stop the run. And it's not like the Chiefs are some great running team. I mean, Pacheco and Hunt have not really looked great. And again, you make them one-dimensional. You can. I'm not saying that they win, but I think they can make it hard on them to score.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me is Dallas's secondary. But again, I agree with you. I think they're going to be long, drawn-out drives. I don't think it's going to be huge plays. I don't think Kansas City's going over the top for 60 yards scoring in 2 minutes. I think it's going to be a 6-minute grinded-out drive. Kansas City's, what are they? They're 1-3 against the over this year. So I don't know. Or no, they're 1-3. They're 1-3 against the over and 1-3 against the spread away. Man, I'm with you. Well, I like the under in this game. I think Kansas City's gonna have to grind in this game.
Yeah, I think so too, and that's what they've been doing. If you look at the Colts Chiefs game, you would have thought that one would have been both teams going over 30 points, but it didn't really even, come close without OT. That game was a grinding out type game, and there were some long drives, and I don't know. I was surprised to see that over being high, not because the Cowboys can't score. The Chiefs just aren't explosive anymore.
They've gone under in their last 5 games, the Chiefs have.
Yeah, so to get to 52, they've got to put up points. And if they fall behind, they're going to still try to chew the clock. They know that they can't really go drive for drive against most teams.
No.
Even with Mahomes.
Chiefs defense are fourth in the league on points allowed defensively, so that's another favor for them. I think this is going to be a grinded out game. Dallas, they definitely looked improved, but they were down 21-0, in that game. So against the Eagles,
under. We got two unders. We get into the 8:00 game Thursday night where everybody's eating turkey. You've punched your aunt in the face, maybe kicked a child, and you're going into the 8:20 game Thursday night. Hopefully you're up, and you can still see out of your left eye because you got the Bengals going to Baltimore. +7, Cincinnati. I don't know, man. I mean, my mind says the Bengals can keep this within 7. What do you think?
No T. Higgins.
No T. Higgins.
So all the coverage that Baltimore has is going to shift on Jamar Chase. I mean, that's essentially what's going to happen. You do have Kyle Hamilton back there. He's healthy. Marlon Humphreys is going to play. They're getting healthier. I mean, they
are, but my God, Lamar Jackson looked like shit last week. Terrible.
He did.
Horrible.
He did. I mean, he just doesn't look right.
But is this the defense that he can just absolutely thrash and annihilate? I don't know. Baltimore's won their last 4 against these guys. They've been close games, all but one.
But that was with Burrows.
Burrow's back.
Is he playing?
Burrow's back. Yeah. That's why the line.
Burrow's playing.
Yeah, Burrow's he's playing. That's the only thing about the line that says maybe the Bengals have a chance. But I think this might be a game where you see Lamar just go to that next level, what we've all been waiting for.
I mean, Cincinnati's defense, I don't think Trey Hendrickson is playing. That would be something. If he was playing, I'd feel like, okay, at least you're getting some pressure. They did play better against the Patriots. But a lot of that was because Will Campbell, the left tackle, goes out in that game late. But prior to that, they did stay in the game. They had a pick 6. They're playing a little bit better, but I just don't see why you wouldn't just hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, because Cincinnati Bengals have made guys like Kyle Monangai look like the next coming of Jim Brown. I mean, even if Lamar's not right.
No, you're right. That running defense is bad.
It's bad. It's terrible. They make everybody look great. And so I just think start off by feeding Derrick Henry. And if they get up, I don't know. I mean, Joe Burrow also hasn't played in, I don't know,
5 weeks, right? Something like
longer.
that. Longer,
It might be even longer.
Oh, yeah, it's week 2 he went out.
So he hasn't played since mid-September.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have T. Higgins, right? He's not going to play.
Mm-hmm.
So that just, I know it's 7 points, which is a lot, but it is in Baltimore. I don't know. So, I mean, look, Cincinnati's going to play desperate. They lose this game. I mean, I don't see how they're getting to the playoffs to begin with, but also Baltimore knows that we could just knock the Bengals out right now and, never see Joe Burrow until next season in a meaningful game. Let's just do this and knock them out. They would get their 9th loss, which would effectively eliminate them from the playoffs, basically. I just see that Baltimore is getting healthier. That trade they made for Gilman in the secondary is paying dividends. And as long as Kyle Hamilton's playing, he's so good. The guy is, I think, the best cover safety in the NFL. Hopefully he can prevent some, Jamar Chase from having, a massive game. And without that, I don't know how this team wins. The Bengals offensive line is still atrocious. It doesn't block well for the quarterback. They don't make running lanes. Obviously, Chase Brown looks like a backup running back. You just see two teams trending in different directions, and the only element that's changing is, yes, Joe Burrow is playing, but he has not played football in 2 months.
Here's a little something to leave you with about the Cincinnati defense. Where they rank in the NFL right now: 32nd in passing yards allowed, 31st in rushing yards allowed, 31st in total yards allowed, 32nd in points allowed. I think this is a get-right game for the Ravens. I think they light up the scoreboard.
Based on my rankings and what Steve just said, my rankings: Cincinnati pass rush 31, Cincinnati run defense 32, Cincinnati coverage 31. I mean, they don't do anything well, and I don't want to I don't want to get too disillusioned with the fact that Joe Burrow is playing. He hasn't played in 2 months.
He hasn't played in 2 months. But again, I can see. I'm just tossing this out there. I can see Superman's first drive of 75-yard pass, gains a little confidence. Thanksgiving Day. Burrow throws for 460. The guy has the skills.
The guy is, like I said last week, he's the best pocket packer.
If they hit a few running backs, if they hit a tight end for 15, 20, and they loosen Chase up.
Oh, yeah. It's possible. It's
possible.
Look, if I'm up going into this game, because I'm not going to do what I did last week, my bets that I put on the podcast worked, and then I got cute Sunday morning. I got cute and lost money.
I do it all the time, man. The time.
I got cute, man. It was like Black Monday 1987 for me last Sunday. It fucking sucked. But this is a game, if I'm going in up, I might wait for the first 2 drives and just see
where the lines go.
Where the lines go. And, like, look, if Derrick Henry rips 25 yards in the first drive and they punt because of a holding penalty or something, a drop pass by someone, I probably would still lean Baltimore. But, like, if the Ravens can't run against this team, which seems crazy to me, I don't know. And then let's see what Joe Burrow looks like. If he comes out sharp, which Howie's right. I mean, if there is a quarterback that could have a 2-month layoff,
he's the only one.
Yeah,
I would say
he is really the only one. If Jaden Daniels plays next week or this Sunday, I wouldn't think that he would be sharp. If Justin Herbert had taken 2 months off because of an injury and came back, I wouldn't take that bet. But he really is the only guy in the NFL that I would say, yeah, man, this guy could roll out of bed. This guy goes to bed at 8 p.m. every night during the NFL season. This guy has. Yeah, well, he's obsessed.
Does he go to bed or does he lay down with 3 to 5 chicks? That's something we don't know. Is he really catching Z's, or is he really preparing for the next day on his focus? Well, we get to the weekend. Steve, give me one game you like on Sunday.
Nothing I want to see more this Sunday than Shador Sanders to get his face ripped off. They're like trying to anoint this kid the Black Jesus. Like, give me a break. He was 11 for 20. He had 4 big plays that got him yards, so that's how he got the 209 passing yards. He's not good. Their defense, elite. Offense stinks. I hope the Niners take a shit in his mouth on Sunday.
I'll tell you what. They won, though. He got him the W.
Fuck him.
I mean, when's the last quarterback from Cleveland to get him a W? I mean,
first one. I think the first one ever in history, rookie quarterback to get a win for the Cleveland Browns. Yeah,
in their first start. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I watched him in college. He's damn good. He's got skills. But look, my God, he's got hardly anything around him.
Nothing.
He's got a tight end. They got no running backs.
No, and if you watch
no line,
I have to go back and watch that game in its entirety. I watched chunks of it, but the 2 turnovers that were in that game that I saw are just one. Sanders' interception was really bad, like clearly misreading the defense. And
it's his first NFL game, though. You got to give the kid at least 5 or 6.
It is, but it was also
people don't remember. People keep saying
a really bad defense.
I remember when Tim Tebow started, and man, the first game he looked good. Then the second game, he made a few more mistakes. by like his 5th start, you were like, okay, this guy sucks.
And to Howie's point,
wait, so you're going against yourself here?
Yeah, I'm going against myself. Yes,
Shador's going to be horrible.
I'm going the opposite. Oh, okay. Shador may end up just another Timmy T. Probably will. But I will say this. My God. Well, Tim Tebow, at least when he was with Denver, they actually had players. He had a couple decent players.
What I will also say is the Niners defense it's not good.
Banged up.
I mean, it's so banged up. It's
the line's only 5.5 here. Cleveland can win this game.
It's because of the defense. I mean, they're
100%.
My God, their defensive line is like one of the best I've seen in years.
What, they have 10 sacks last week?
Yeah, 10 sacks.
And I want to give Stefanski a shout-out punting on the 29-yard line to get me that under instead of kicking a field goal.
I mean, they're really – that defensive line's elite.
And what's his name for the Browns? Is he Hall of Fame? Like that? This guy – what's he got this year? 10, 12?
Miles Garrett, to me, is the best defensive player in the NFL. It's not even close.
He is.
Monster.
He can play the run, the pass. He gets double, triple the guy.
What's he got, like 12 sacks this year or something? Something ridiculous.
And he's got double-digit sacks.
I think more. Yeah. I got to look.
If you watch these games, the Cleveland Browns, like he gets doubled and tripled sometimes.
And they can't stop him.
But so here's one thing to keep in mind about this game. 2 years ago, 2023, I believe it was week 5 or 6, the San Francisco 49ers went into Cleveland 5-0. This was the team that went on to play in the Super Bowl, was loaded on defense, loaded on offense, and they lost that game to the Cleveland Browns with P.J. Walker as the quarterback. There just is no way Kyle Shanahan is not hammering this in all week long. Guys, half of you were still on this team 2 years ago when we went to Cleveland and lost. Purdy was on that team. Kittle was on that team. McCaffrey was on that team. Trent Williams was on that team. They're all going to be in these guys' faces. Like, do not take this team for granted. We were 5-0 going into this, and it was like one of their 2 or 3 losses for the whole year. And they were up 10-0 in that game. And then they were up 17-13 in that game. And P.J. Walker, I don't even know if that guy is in the NFL anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, so I there's a little bit of that, and it was in Cleveland, and so I think Purdy threw over 3 interceptions, which is he's only done it 3 times. The other time
he did it Monday night.
Yeah, he did it Monday night.
They still won.
He did it Monday
Let's talk about that. He did it Monday night against my one bet. I had the Panthers, who should have, forget about covering. The Panthers should have won that game. You kidding me? 3 turnovers, and I do like the Panthers defense. They should have literally covered so easily that game. But that brings me to the game Sunday, 1 o'clock. The Rams are at North Carolina, at Charlotte. Charlotte is home, plus 10.5. I love the Panthers. They're 10.5-point dogs at home. I think they'll keep that low score. And Bryce Young, he's due to pull a couple things out of his ass because he played so badly Sunday night. I'll take the Panthers all day long, plus 10.5 against the LA Rams. The Rams probably get it done.
You're brave. You are brave, Howard.
Very.
Dude, look at the Panthers' record as dogs. What are they, 8-1?
I get
9-2?
I get it, but like the Rams, to me right now, are playing the best football in the NFL.
They're a team I would not go against right now.
Yeah.
I'm going against them at plus 10.5. I'm taking Bryce Young.
I mean, look,
boys.
It's 10.5. They're coming across the country, which I still stand by that doesn't really have much of effect anymore. But
unless you're playing in redneck Charlotte, then it matters.
But like the Rams defense is just no joke. I mean, this defense is the secondary with Curl, Forbes, Kitchens, they're really good, but then Verse and Young and Fisk and Landman, these guys are all playing out of their minds on defense.
They're going to get after you.
I think
Well,
they're
according to Vegas, Vegas thinks his score is going to be somewhere around 30 to 14. That's what Vegas is counting on. 30.
I mean, the Rams are going to. The Rams can run the ball. I mean, with Derek Brown, it's a little bit difficult to run against the Panthers. You saw that with McCaffrey.
Panthers have a good team.
They
made Brock Purdy look like an idiot.
No,
Brock Purdy's tried to give that game away.
I mean, J.C. Horn is a legit, all-pro level cornerback. They have a very deep offensive line.
Is he going to play? Because he got knocked out of the game the other night.
So if he doesn't play, then
you got to look at that.
You got to look at that because he's a difference.
And I haven't made a decision. I like this game now, but you got to join the Discord. You got to go to whop.com. You got to go to @HowWeDoing on YouTube. Join the Degenerate Gamblers Premium, and then the day of, if Horn plays and he's healthy, I'll probably take the Panthers 10.5. If he's not, then I'm looking to play the over because he is their defensive backfield. I mean,
he's the reason that they
threw 3 picks.
Yeah, because you have to count for him. He's that good. That first interception he had was amazing. I mean, he laid off the guy and then cut off the ball, and I don't know. It was a great interception.
So we get into the final. Mayhul, you got any other games you want to talk about on Sunday?
Look, I mean, I'm going to buy some points on the Colts, Texans. I'm going to buy some points. Not many. I'll probably get that down to -2.5 Colts. I feel like the Colts will bounce back at home. It's a tough game because of that Houston defensive line, but I feel like they'll get it done. I feel like they'll get it done at home.
All right. So that's the Colts against the Texans. Colts -4.5. Texans, great defense, playing well, but yeah, you would think. I mean, if they play smart, conservative ball, and they run, I mean, I don't know if I'll take the 4.5, but I probably will use them at -215. Definitely.
I'll buy points, and then the other game I'll buy only a few points too is Minnesota versus Seattle. I like Seattle with points because I think J.J. McCarthy might be in concussion protocol, but at this point, it does not matter.
They're better off.
It does not matter if you start J.J. McCarthy or Carson Wentz. It does not matter.
Wentz is out for the year.
Oh, he's out for the year.
He had shoulder surgery. He's gone. They got some D3 player as their backup now. This line tells me everything I need to know. Stay the fuck away from the Vikings. Excuse my French, Howie. I know it's a kid show. Stay away from the Vikings. They're in deep trouble.
Yeah, I mean,
plus 11.5 in Seattle. Yeah, Vegas is basically telling you this could be a 25, 30-point game.
It could be.
Especially with Seattle letting Tennessee back in the game last week. They were up 20 at one point. I think this is a game they just keep the foot on the throttle and absolutely annihilate the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things here. J.J. McCarthy is just not getting better week to week. He's getting worse. And the team's loaded on offense. And he's got the right coach, but also, Sam Darnold has played against this defense in practice for an entire year last year.
Mehul, think about this one. Is this a fuck you game for Sam Darnold? Say, you didn't want me? You didn't want me? So I'm going to go to Seattle. I'm going to ram it right up your ass.
I think so, because it's in Seattle, right? So he's at home.
Yep.
And these guys on the defensive line, the secondary, the linebackers, it's not unfamiliar to him. He knows Brian Flores' schemes. He was there for an entire year. And the hardest thing playing against the Vikings defense is their blitz packages. Sam Darnold is going to know where these blitzes are coming from, and they've got weapons all over the place. I mean, he's right now telling JSN, okay, you see this? When this guy comes to the line of scrimmage, you do your thing, and I'm going to hit you. I think the Seahawks could put up a lot of points, and the reality is the Vikings defense is just not playing well. These quarterbacks are figuring out how to play against this scheme that Flores has. They just haven't They haven't just, stopped the team and dominated a game for 4 quarters. They haven't, and I don't think this is where it's going to happen. The one area where the Seahawks do have some problems is they don't pass block that well, but I just think Darnold being there just last year, I lean towards it being better for him. And then the Seahawks defense versus the Vikings offense. I mean, I would check. If Julian Love is playing in this game, if he finally comes back, I'm hammering this game. I'm going to take the Seahawks all day.
I'm with you, man. I like Steve's point of view. I think Steve makes good points on all fronts. I mean, the Vikings are garbage, and Darnold probably is a little pissed. I mean, I
think he's a lot pissed. I mean, the guy won.
I like that view. I like that point of view.
The guy won 12 games for you, and you decide to go with a rookie who's coming off of ACL and a backup in Carson Wentz who has flamed out everywhere.
Yeah.
And you did, you let me go. I took you to the playoffs.
Well, listen, that's it, people. That's our Thanksgiving special. We went over Thanksgiving. We gave you a few games this weekend, but if you want to get everything, you got to join the Discord. Got to go to whop.com. Got to join the premium Degenerate Gamblers Discord, $24.99 a month. Go to
Howie, before we leave, we can't have an episode without a comment on the Jets.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. The Jets fuck me every weekend. I loaded against them last weekend, and Lamar Jackson sucked, and the Jets pulled a couple plays out of their ass, and the Jets play the great Atlanta Falcons coming in this weekend. The Jets are plus 2.5 at home. One would think, the line makes you think to load the Falcons, but the Vegas is telling you that the Jets are probably going to win this garbage game. I mean, they lost half their defense, and the D looked amazingly great Sunday. Nothing makes sense about the Jets. I mean, you got a quarterback who has been playing backup for. Look, I give Jameis Winston. He probably should have started from the get-go.
Yeah.
Well, you could have started him at wide receiver, apparently. I mean, the guy's breaking tackles, man.
I was going to say, talk about the Jets, the Giants, same thing. They're both identical, and you don't know what they're going to do weekend after week. It makes no sense. The Jets are just decimated, horrible, and they played great against
the minute they took the leads, I took the reverse money line and took the other teams, and that saved my ass. Because I got cute and took halftime spreads and they screwed me. But I figured they would screw their fan base more. And so once they went up, I bet against them, and that at least canceled out that loss. But
that was brutal
they're bad.
To watch.
It's watching the Jets offense is painful. But before we leave, is it crazy that the Giants' defense is this bad? I just don't understand.
Finally fired their DC.
They fired their D coordinator.
I know, but how are they this bad in the front seven? I don't understand.
So this one thing I'll say about that game, it's you're getting the hook with the 7.5. So what Giants offensively have done the last few weeks is they brought back the fun, doing these trick plays, this and that. I almost look for the defense to do something where they're just going to blitz their balls off and just make life a little bit tough for Drake May on Monday night. They got nothing to lose.
I like the Giants honestly in that game, and I'll tell you why. Will Campbell, the left tackle, rookie, he's not going to play. And that is the difference from last year. Drake May was getting hit from his blind side all day last year. And before Drake May was this guy, Jacoby Brissett, who was getting his spine broken half on the blind side every week. And both of them now have left tackles that are great. Paris Johnson is a great left tackle in Arizona. And lo and behold, Jacoby Brissett is not shitting his pants every snap and is breaking completion records in a game.
Let me tell you about the Giants. There's 4 or 5 games they could have won this year. 4 or 5 games they could have won. Winston's got to be one of the best backup quarterbacks in the NFL. This guy comes in, he plays loose, he gives your team a chance. I like it, man.
I'm gonna watch that spread. Check out our Discord. Jump on it. That's where we'll put our final thoughts and final bets in.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's Thanksgiving. We're gonna get crazy. It's gonna be a lot of bad decisions. Actually, no, I made all my bad decisions last weekend. We're gonna straight up go for it. I got this morning. I prayed to Muhammad, Buddha, Jesus, God, fucking Mary. I prayed to all of them. So we're gonna bank. We're gonna make some money. We got hoops tonight. We got college football tomorrow. We got NFL tomorrow, guys. Join the Degenerate Gamblers. Go to whop.com. Join the premium. I'm out. Let's make some money, fellas.